Hey YouTube. So, what's all this mess? Well, there's been videos of Mr. Fennell with his Falex machine. He pushes down on a fish scale, a lever applies something like 30 or 35 to 1 pressure to a bearing, and it seizes up at a certain point, as indicated on the fish scale. And it's just a comparative test. It's not a pass, a fail, a good, a bad. He's very clear about that. But the point about this is a lot of people are saying, he's manipulating it, head and shoulders, it's not a... Okay, alright. So his integrity with his machine is what's in question here. And, well, I want to find out. He's lying or he's being honest? Now, I think he's being honest. But I'm going to find out for sure and show you guys. I contacted Mr. Fennell. I said, I have 2 mystery products I want to send you. Will you test them on your Falex machine and tell me how they do? He said yes. Gave me his mailing address. So I said, great, I'll send them to you. They're going to be in bottles A and B, and he's going to test it on his Falex machine for us. One of these products is going to be sesame, toasted sesame oil. I expect for it to do poorly. It's going to have a little bit of peppermint oil mixed in to give it a unique scent. It already smells nasty. This might improve its disposition. The other aspect of this is that Weapon Shield is going to be the second product. Weapon Shield is going to be an A or B. I'm not sure which one I'll pour it in. But it smells like cinnamon. That's part of Mr. Fennell's signature, the cinnamon scent. He says it's part of the Laurel family. It won't spook game or girlfriends out of your house or apartment or in the woods. So he uses a cinnamon scent. It's probably the best smelling CLP I've ever smelled. But we're gonna have to kill that because Mr. Fennell's product is the other mystery product I'm gonna send to him. Now, before we freak out and say, oh, if we add peppermint oil and a little bit of this other stuff to it, it'll ruin it. Well, in his videos, Mr. Fennell shows Weapon Shield being applied to a previously treated bearing without doing a whole lot of shenanigans. He just pours it on there and reapplies pressure, and it does great. So a few drops of peppermint oil and a few drops of this toasted sesame oil, it shouldn't mess with the results. I will be suspicious if it drastically alters things. I just don't think that that's very likely. So anyway, Mr. Fennell has no clue what I'm sending him other than it's going to be labeled A and B. And like I say, A is going to be the sesame stuff with a little bit of peppermint. Now the sesame oil has a very similar appearance, I'll show you, to the Weapon Shield, which is kind of why I chose it. It also has an obnoxious scent, which I didn't know. I learned that. There's our sesame oil. There's our Weapon Shield, very close in color and consistency. But that Weapon Shield, it smells like cinnamon. So I've got some of this peppermint oil. Now it's 92% alcohol. That's in tiny little letters on the back. I don't think you'll make it out. So I took a heat gun and burned off a lot of that alcohol to leave me with more concentrate peppermint oil. That's what this is that concentrate, because unfortunately I think it will make the solutions a little bit cloudy, because it's still an organic alcohol. It's got a little bit in there still, I'm sure, but it will make your eyes water. It's concentrated. So that's why this is not all the way full. That's where it went. And I'm going to add a little bit to the Weapon Shield and a little bit to the other. I want them to smell similar. I want to be as similar as they can be. Pouring stuff out of a shot glass. This is where I'm not a bartender. It runs down the underside of the shot glass and drips off the back half. Pour a little bit in here too. Like I say, I want them to smell equal. There we go. Awesome. And I'm going to add, like I said, just a little bit of the sesame to darken up our Weapon Shield. It's not quite as dark, but that's pretty darn close. Now, this one has the same things that's in here, plus this one has weapon shield. So I'm going to mix this one first. That way that we don't contaminate. That peppermint oil made it a little bit cloudy. Not bad, not bad at all. If it gets shaken at all in the mail, it should stay in suspension. That's not bad at all. Okay, we're done with the mixings. Let me smell this. This is subjective. I know you can't smell it. There's no cinnamony goodness coming out of this. It smells terrible. And it makes your eyes water a little bit. And that's even worse. Okay. So, our weapon shield is going to go in container A. I'm going to try. We've already seen how poorly this goes pouring from the shot glass, but I've got some to spare. Hey, that's not bad. Okay, I can live with it. Ugh. I really hope that it doesn't wipe off our Sharpied letter A. And it has not. Awesome. Okay, that's test bottle A. That's got our weapon shield and a few other noxious chemicals to disguise that beautiful smell Mr. Fennell engineered into it. And here is B. This is our just a straight sesame oil and a little dash of peppermint to make it smell the same as our other sample. All right. There we go. Here you go. We still have B on the bottom and a B on both sides. I'm going to get this in the mail to Mr. Fennell tomorrow. We'll see what we see.